There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Greetings everyone and welcome to Dunwich Manor. Today I have a review for you guys, and it's a review of a movie that I've been holding off for a long time because I've been worried about watching it. Not worried, but anxious about watching it. I didn't want to watch it. And it's the House on Haunted Hill remake from the 90s. So as you guys probably know, House on Haunted Hill is my favorite horror movie of all time. I've said it before, and I do have a fair amount of House on Haunted Hill stuff. It's just a classic horror movie. I mean, it feels very much like a 50s horror movie with, some cheesy moments. Vincent Price doing an amazing job as always. It's just a fun movie. And so, when I learned that there was this remake, I really didn't want to watch it because I didn't want House on Haunted Hill to be ruined for me. But then I decided, hey, a lot of people seem to like it, and it's the 90s, so it's at least going to be a fun horror movie, if not just completely bizarre. And it was completely bizarre, but it was also fun. So I mean, it was all right. So let's get into my review of it. Basically, the whole movie is virtually the same as the original in concept. So except for a few minor changes here and there. Also, Jeffrey Combs was in this. I didn't know he was gonna be in it. I just saw him in the credits, and then he's pretty unrecognizable, honestly. But it was cool to see him. I love Jeffrey Combs. Anyway, so basically, the plot of these movies is that 5 people spend the night at this house on Haunted Hill, and they get money if they last the whole entire night. And the money's being paid out by a guy called, in the original, Frederick Lauren, and in the new one, Price. I can't remember his first name. But anyway, a man called Price, which I think is interesting that they chose that name when the original, eccentric billionaire was played by Vincent Price, and the new one is played by the same guy who plays Barbossa. I can't remember his name, but he plays Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean, so that caught me off guard as well. But anyways, he has the same name, Price, but he's playing, I don't know, it was an interesting choice, let's just say that. But basically, yeah, he wants to pay these people money to see if they last. But, and spoiler alert for this, big spoiler alert, in the back, there's 2 people that know each other. It's the billionaire's wife and a doctor that happens to be part of this group of people that's going to be spending the night. And they happen to be in love, they're having an affair, and their plan is to scare one of the other guests so much that she shoots the billionaire, and so that way the wife gets the money and they get away and go live their life. And so that's basically the plot of the original, and they followed basically the same thing in the remake, but they changed it up a little bit, and I think that was a good decision because some of it was pretty predictable. Obviously, it's like, okay, I've seen this before, they're gonna do this or they're gonna do that, but they changed it up enough that it still caught me a little off guard. And so basically the wife kills her lover in this one, the ones that she's having an affair with, the doctor. She kills him, and then it turns out, boom, the house is actually haunted. Like, there's genuinely ghosts. And the whole movie, it's pretty obvious because the whole movie starts out with it being an asylum. That's another big difference, is this house is an asylum, and it has a whole locking down mechanism, which also makes more sense because in the original, everybody gets locked in the house because the caretakers happen to lock the door, and Frederick Lauren is just like, oh, I guess you can't leave, the door's locked from the outside, so nobody can leave.
I was going to ask you whether you wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
And in this one, it's an actual asylum lockdown mechanism, so that makes a little bit more sense than just being locked in by some caretakers. I lost my train of thought. Let's see. So it makes sense that, the house is haunted this time because the house, or the asylum, burns down in this big fire. Like, all the inmates get out and there's a whole riot thing basically, and it just burns down, a bunch of people are killed. So you would think, just from a paranormal point of view, that there's gonna be a lot of spirits there, and there is. So that was a cool change that they made, because it was always kind of up in the air in the original, like, is this house actually haunted, or is it all just people manipulating stuff? And this one we get an answer for. The tone of the movie is very different. The original is very distinguished and it's very 50s, it's very distinguished 50s horror film. Everybody's wearing suits, it's super, super fancy, not fancy, but, it has a bit of class to it that 50s horror did, even if it was cheesy and bad. And so this remake has a completely separate tone. So it's very 90s, that's all I can say. It's very 90s, early 2000s kind of feel. It's very loud, flashy. There's a lot of, it kind of reminds me of Saw, like a lot of shaky camera, movement and stuff like that. And it's very there's plenty of gore and stuff, and they did a good job with all of that. If you just watch this movie and not the original, I think you would like it more. If you've seen the original, it's going to be kind of a shocking change for you. But again, I'd say, I mean, it's a 6 out of 10 movie on in my opinion. And one of the big things that dropped it down for me was the CGI. So I've never seen the original The Haunting. I've seen the remake, with Owen Wilson and Liam Neeson, and the CGI in that is awful. I mean, it ruined the movie for me. At first I thought it was going to be really good, but then the CGI hits and you're like, what the hell is going on here? Same thing for House on Haunted Hill that I was kind of concerned about, and they did. Especially at the end, there's just a lot of CGI that really kind of didn't really work very well. But at the same time, there are really good creature effects, like actual, physical, organic creature effects throughout the whole movie that are really good. Like, some of the ghosts are freaky as hell looking. And there's this really cool underwater scene, and there's like this weird ghost lady, and I don't know, it's freaky. It was pretty cool.
Back off, ya spooky bitch!
But yeah, it's a 6. Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 on my rating, because I can understand why somebody would love this movie, but I also understand why somebody wouldn't be a fan of it. But I still suggest you guys check it out if you want. If you've seen the original and you want something with the same storyline, yet with some more extra twists thrown in, just more modern take on it, I'd say it's worth checking out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry my uploads have been super inconsistent. There's a lot going on. Well, a lot going on. I'm just tired a lot of time with work and stuff. So I'm trying to work on it. I say this every video, I know. I'm trying to work on it. But again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.